Steve and I hadn't talked for 40 years until August the 23rd of 2009. My phone rang at home, and I looked down at the phone, and it's got the call identifier on there, and here's the name Steve Hopkins. Well, I only know one Steve Hopkins, and that was a guy that I'd left behind 40 years to the day.
Wow.
And so when I picked up the phone, I won't share with you my greeting to him because we'll both get cut off, but Steve and I had an excellent conversation, and he had found our website and wanted to know that, one, I was still alive, and two, that I was having a good time doing this stuff. And I think we've got Steve on the brink of starting up something very similar to Feed the Dogs in the Oklahoma area, and I'm not going to push him. I'm going to let him make that decision. But the big surprise to me, when we announced the Edwards Air Force Base feed, I got a phone call saying, hey, I've got airfare and a hotel, and I'm on my way.
Oh, man.
And when I showed up at Edwards Air Force Base, there was Steve Hopkins, 40 years, 8 months, and 22 days, and I think he even figured out the hours.
Wow.
Since we had seen each other. It's an incredible feeling. And some of your listeners will appreciate the fact that we picked up a conversation that we hadn't quite finished 40 years ago and didn't miss a stitch. It's a brotherhood that exceeds all boundaries. It's just an incredible opportunity for people if they wanted to pursue this thing. It's sitting there waiting for them.
Well, I tell you what, in the pictures of you two guys back in the day with your dogs is just incredible. We don't take beer to our feeds. I think your listeners need to know that. We don't encourage the consumption of alcohol on the road or in the pit, either one. But that was a 40-year, 8-month, and 22-hour, 22-day reunion beer that you see in the photographs on that website. I don't think I've ever tasted a Bud Long Neck that tasted quite that good in a long time. Well, I tell you what, these pictures are absolutely incredible, and that's one of the things that I liked about the website is that the pictures that you guys have taken and posted, of the feeds of the families, and a lot of these guys are with their dogs. I mean, these are pictures of you and Steve back, I'm sure when you're back in Vietnam with you and your dogs, and then today's picture of you two guys with your arms around each other, when you had the reunion, and then the pictures of when you guys are out at these feeds, and these military guys are with their dogs. You can see the proud, they're displaying. I mean, it's just, I don't know if I can describe it. It's incredible.
No, what's probably as more incredible, and I say this, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I loved the dog I had in Vietnam. The guy kept me alive for a little over a year, every day. Air Force sentry dogs are dinosaurs now. We don't have sentry dogs anymore. We've got sensors and night vision and all of the things that displaced dogs deployed on perimeters at night. But that dog was incredibly important to me, probably the best friend I ever had in my life. And it's not that we didn't argue once in a while, because I got the scars to prove it. But I had lost all of my photographs of me and my dog over the years, and I felt guilty about that every time I engaged anybody with conversation about dogs and work at dogs and modern military and everything. The same gentleman that came from Enid, Oklahoma for the Edwards feed brought me the only photograph that I know of Sergeant John Hemp and Sarge 46X4. So that's an extreme... I can't tell you what that photograph is worth.
It's special.
These kids have the same relationship with their dogs today that we had back then. Last January, I adopted a patrol drug Marine Corps dog out of Camp Pendleton. His name is Condor. It's about 95, 98 pounds, black and tan Shep. He's got one speed, and it's full blast. And thanks to the help of my wife, we are in the process of trying to tune him down a little bit so that in his retirement he might have the best years of his life still ahead of him, and a lot of people who love him and want to make sure that he's happy and taken care of. I forgot what it was like to have a dog, a real dog. And I've been granted a blessing, I guess, at this late point in my life to be able to experience it again. It's just an incredible environment. Those people who have pets might come close to understanding what it's like, but I have a feeling that unless you shared a post or shared a patrol with a dog in your lifetime, you're probably one of the few people that really understand what that feeling really is all about.
Well, I tell you what, I already told my listeners the quote in here from your wife about what her two old dogs have in common. I've already shared that with them, John. So there's no secrets here between any of us. That they both smell a little funny. They're both old, and they occasionally leak gas. So we've already shared that with everybody.
Yeah, her words.
I know it. Well, I tell you what, we're not too far from having to wrap it up. I tell you, I love you. I appreciate you being on the air with me. Well,
I tell you what, we have a very special spot in our heart for people like you too, Melanie. It takes very special people to genuinely care about the animals. And for us, the dogs, that's the warmest spot in any one of our hearts.
Yep.
The comment and the quote about being around when the fight starts, just make sure you don't abuse an animal around a dog handler.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got people's numbers on speed dial for bail money.
Yeah.
Because I'll be going to jail. Yep.
I'll dial 911 for you.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. I tell you, we want everybody, and I've already sent out the email this morning for everybody to send this information out to all of their friends for feedthedog.com, and that's DAWG. It doesn't have an S on it? Yes.
Feed the dogs, plural. Yeah,
yes.
There's a bunch of us out there.
Yes, DAWGS.com.